This week, the Union enters the Valley of Death. First action this week is on the 23rd at Front Royale in the Valley of Virginia. Major General Stonewall Jackson has 3,000 men to take on 1,000 men of the Union under Colonel Kennelly. In the very early morning, he orders cavalry to cross the ford so the rest of his army can cross unmolested. Then they do so. Brigade is sent to a hill to do some reconnoitering of the enemy. There, the 1st CSA Maryland Infantry engages with the 1st Union Maryland Volunteer Infantry. The CSA's 1st Maryland Infantry is aided by Wheat's Tigers. They engage, and the Confederates start winning. The Union has to withdraw. In doing so, it separates its forces into 3 main parts. Confederate cavalry charges down the center, and at the cost of men and officers, they take it. Communication between the right and left. From there, Jackson is able to encircle the main body of the Union. Kennelly has to run away, having lost the day. 36 casualties for the Confederates, for the Union 773, a disaster, of which 691 were captured. As Banks of the Union hears about this, he begins his retreat with 9,000. Once General Banks of the Union hears of this, he begins a retreat towards Winchester. He has 9,000 men. On the 24th, Brigadier General Erasmus Keyes and the 4th Corps reach the area around Seven Pines or Fair Oak Station. Keyes can basically see Richmond. Knowing the enemy forces before him, he begins to dig in. First thing on the 25th, Major General Jackson strikes again. 6,500 men under Banks are going against 16,000 under Jackson. Jackson moves 3 of Major General Ewell's brigades to the left, as he will take the remaining brigade down towards Winchester directly. Jackson moves again on the left, and as the morning fog continues, he reaches Winchester and starts deploying his forces. He just started getting his cannons in place when he hears a crack of gunfire. He didn't give the order to fire. Is the battle starting already? The cannoneer falls. Another crack, and another fall. Union skirmishers are picking away at his men. He now rushes to bring up the rest of his guns and start the bombardment. A duel ensues between Jackson's artillery and the Union's. Jackson isn't comfortable with this. He fears he would lose in such a duel. He orders Brigadier General Taylor, with added reinforcements, another brigade in support, to cross over and charge enemy positions on the Union right. He will have his other men hold down the Union left. Moving into position, the Union sharpshooters lay down fire on the brigade. When the charge begins, the regular Union infantry launches its fire. The Confederates move up, another volley. Halfway, another volley. At the crest, just strong gunfire. But the brigade made it. They charge down. The Union breaks. Both sides run through Winchester, but past it, pursuit can't be done. Jackson's men are exhausted. He has marched them all around the valley. The Union suffered 2,019 casualties, of which 1,714 are missing, to the Confederates 297. Banks continues his withdrawal towards D.C., and Brigadier General McDowell's 1st Corps is to remain indefinitely in the district. McClellan is down a corps in the peninsula. Also on the 25th, the battle between President Lincoln and Major General McClellan hits high gear.
Washington, May 25th, 1862, Major General George B. McClellan. On the 23rd, a rebel force of 10,000 fell upon one of Banks' regiments at Front Royale, destroying it entirely, pushed on to Winchester. General Banks ran a race with them, beating them into Winchester yesterday evening. This morning, a battle ensued, in which Banks was beaten back in full retreat towards the Potomac, and is probably broken up into a total rout. Stripped bare as we are here, it will do all that we can do to prevent them crossing the Potomac at Harper's Ferry or above. McDowell has 20,000 of his forces moving back to Front Royale, and Fremont, who's at Franklin, is moving to Harrisonburg. Both these movements intend to get in Jackson's rear. Do the best you can with the forces you have. A. Lincoln, President.
2 hours later,
Washington, May 25th, 2 p.m. General McClellan. I think Jackson's movement is a general and concerted one, such as could not be made if he was acting upon the purpose of a very desperate defense of Richmond. I think it's time that he must either attack Richmond or give up the job, come back to the defense of Washington. Let me hear from you instantly. A. Lincoln, President.
Nothing back from McClellan. Lincoln has lost much faith in the man. He has handed him a great army and given him an objective. McClellan doesn't seem to realize he can seize it. Lastly, on the 25th, the Line Seaward African Slave Trade Treaty is placed into effect. The treaty is an agreement between the US and the UK to use their navies to ensure that the slave trade is ended in each other's waters. In actuality, it is a way for the US to keep the UK out of the war. The treaty is fairly non-controversial, being passed unanimously in the Senate. It appears to be a restatement of the UK's disgust by slavery, and actually a pretty strong sign to the Confederacy. On the 27th, a battle in the peninsula at Hanover Court House. 12,000 men of the 5th Corps under Brigadier General Fritz Porter are marching through Hanover County when the foremost regiment of New Yorkers comes across a North Carolina regiment. The New Yorkers, with the help of the 1st U.S. sharpshooters, hold off against them long enough for Porter to bring up the rest of his forces to defeat soundly the regiment. From there, he pursues through the town. Colonel Branch learns of this and decides to charge them, believing he outnumbers Porter. Branch is mistaken, but Porter is moving so quickly, he only leaves behind 3 regiments to guard the town, while he can go charge what he assumes to be the main Confederate force. Porter is mistaken, so when Branch does charge, he's only charging 3 small and one of them already badly hurt regiments. He's supposed to wash over them. They hold. The first charge is repulsed, though the Union does take pretty heavy losses. Then, Porter receives news of the battle. He is panicking. He throws into battle fresh reinforcements, hoping that the Union regiments can hold long enough. They do, and actually exhaust the Confederate forces. So when the fresh reinforcements arrive, they just charge over and win the day. The Union suffers 397 casualties, the Confederates 930. Final thing this week, Pierre Gustave Toutant Beauregard, a full general Final thing this week, on the 29th, full General Pierre Gustave Toutant Beauregard gets ready to withdraw from Corinth, knowing that with the Union siege continuing, his forces would be destroyed if he remained. He actually tricks the enemy, making them believe he's about to assault. He replaces cannons with logs. He has his men cheer for reinforcements that don't exist, and actually lied his men about assault plans, so when deserters reach the Union believes the battle is imminent. As midnight reaches, trains pull out of Corinth with supplies, wounded, and important men. Then there is Sickles. Sickles actually knows Branch. They were in Congress together. But this war has destroyed past friendships. It has torn his world apart. And though they were once good friends, they will soon engage on the field of battle. And Sickles did it. Then there is Sickles. Sickles actually knew Branch. They were together good friends in Congress. But this war has torn his world apart, torn friendships apart. And though they still have many good memories together, they're soon going to engage on the field of battle, and Sickles is determined to win. That's where the week ends, with major Union setbacks in the Valley. Major General Stonewall Jackson has won back-to-back victories, leading with only one threat, Major General John C. Fremont. That's an old name. He has bought breathing room for full General Joseph E. Johnston in Richmond. But in the peninsula, the Union is winning, and in the West, well, it's been mostly silent. Only now is the siege of Corinth drawing to a close. But we need that next battle. We need the end. A Shiloh, Pea Ridge, or Bull Run? Another major battle is so close, but the end is so far away. Hello, it's the entire Civil War Week by Week team here. I just want to say thank you for the 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully 1,000 more fall into this trap. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to tell me how much you liked it, please comment. If you want to see more, you should be seeing playlists, recommended videos, and a button to subscribe if you don't want to go to the one down below. It has been an honor reporting this very old news to you, and I'll see you next week.